Hello Nigeria, I am Becky Madajemu. Welcome to Newsline. There is a beautiful town somewhere in the northern part of Nigeria. Our roving reporter who came upon this expanse of nature will be sharing scenes of that location. Now, a one-time sports champion is on the line tonight. He has kept a strong body busy with a task many would never dream of, let alone undertake. His story is what movie screenplays are made of. And among topics on cue is the consistent patronage of second-hand clothing. We intend to dwell on the affordability and durability of this fashion line. Then stuff you would rather not talk about, writing a will. Have you written yours? Why not? Well, the answers from the public are interesting and relatable. Please do not miss the parties that we covered recently. I promise you will be entertained. But the news of the day will be read before these and other Newsline reports. Let's now join Nancy Gadi Ananiwu. Happy Sunday, Nancy.
Same to you, Becky. Welcome to the news. We begin with infrastructure development. Minister of Power, Works and Housing, Babatunde Raji-Fashola, has assured that work for the construction of the second Niger bridge will not be interrupted for lack of funds. The minister said this during the project assessment at the site in Awka. Correspondent Usman Aliyu now reports.
On the surface, this bridge looks okay, but in reality, a new one is desirable. It survived civil war of 1967 to 1970. But fatigue, age and stress suffered, as well as the increasing pressure from continuous usage is causing concern to many. Attempts were made before the Buhari administration to construct a new Niger bridge, but then funds were not made available for the contractor to go beyond proposal and minor repairs of the bridge, which could not be finished as disclosed. Such successive failures made the people of the area to conclude that the project will never see the light of the day. But now the federal government has shown serious commitment with the achievements of completion of preliminary work and the beginning of foundation, beams and decks. While on an assessment, a meeting between Minister of Power, Works and Housing and Anambra State Governor was held. Issues on the project were clarified.
What I can tell you is that contractor will not leave the site again because of funding. Yes, 3.44 billion naira is compensation we have received. That's a lot of money to pay for land. We have paid 1.8 billion. Our strategy is to pay in sections where the contractor immediately wants to work, because we keep receiving more claims.
About this visit, it's very encouraging. He personally reassured me that this time around is going to be different.
The action by the government on this project, as they say, has risen their hope. No interruption anymore. The waiting game for the second Niger bridge is over as it gradually comes up. Usman Aliyu, NTA News.
The people of Nasarawa State at a solidarity rally in Kefi town commended the federal government for the approval of $995 million to fix Abuja Kefi Akwanga Makurdi Road. Joshua Ojito reports that the project, when completed, will strengthen economic activities and provide relief to motorists.
In addition to the new project, the federal government is seriously working on the completion of Nasarawa Local Road and the Local Oweto Bridge connecting Nasarawa and Benue states. There is also the ongoing construction of 330 kV power substation and housing units, all in Lafia, among other federal government projects in the state. On the basis of this, the people say they will continue to support the present administration for more developmental projects that will enhance their well-being. Governor Umaru Tanko Almakura, Senator Abdullahi Adamu and many other stakeholders said the massive investment in infrastructure by the Buhari administration will help develop the state.
The people of Nasarawa State appreciate all that Muhammadu Buhari has been doing and have taken their relationship with Muhammadu Buhari as something that is for better. And I assure you, by the time the election comes, you will know that Nasarawa State is the second home of President Muhammadu Buhari.
He is doing what ordinarily politics would not give you. He is addressing key primary issues that affect life.
Minister of State for Environment Ibrahim Usman Jibrin assured the people of the state that federal government will sustain its intervention in key critical areas of the economy for the overall development of the country. From Kefi, Joshua Ojito, NTA News.
The senior special assistant to the president on media and publicity, Garba Shehu, says the real meaning and costs of the Changing the Change slogan by the opposition People's Democratic Party means taking the country back to where it was in 2015, a corrupt nation that had lost respect among the Committee of Nations. Garba Shehu, in a write-up tagged the real price of changing the change, said the Buhari-led administration has succeeded in abolishing grand corruption at the top, and as attested to by the American President Donald Trump. The SSA said corruption is fighting back, as stated by the president during the inauguration of the headquarters of the EFCC recently. He cited the loot recovered from past officials and their collaborators as evidence of government's fight against corruption not being lip service oriented. The Buhari victory in 2015 and the possibility of more years, he said, had crumbled the dreams of endlessly looting the state, and the growing list of achievements of the administration is not doing any good for them. Moving to the political arena now, Olajide Bello gives an update on state congresses of the APC in some states across the country.
The State Congress of the APC in Jigawa State was conducted peacefully with all the 35 seats decided through consensus. Awal Muhammad Kazauri reports that the Congress produced Adosani Kiri as its chairman.
Distinguishing qualities of the leadership of the APC, I am sure maybe that is why you opted for consensus, because people say seeing is believing.
In the history of APC in the Jigawa State, for the first time, a Congress for the election of party officials at the state level is taking place peacefully.
In Ibadan, Oyo State, parallel congresses were held by the ruling All Progressives Congress. Adebola Ogunlano tells us that the exercise was peaceful, free, fair and credible at both venues.
When you're a leader, you must be magnanimous. You must be humble in victory. You must accommodate others.
And I want to also congratulate the people of Oyo State for standing firm with the Unity Forum.
Meanwhile, a 37-member executive has been elected to man the affairs of the All Progressives Congress in Akwa Ibom State. The Congress was also adjudged credible.
Of all the states of the Federation, Akwa Ibom State is the most peaceful.
Olajide Bello, NTA News.
And the APC State Congress was concluded peacefully in Katsina State. 1,805 delegates participated in the exercise, and correspondent Muhammad Salisu Awal has details of the report.
All the 37 officials were elected through consensus by the delegates drawn from the 34 local government areas of the state. The Congress Committee Chairman Osman Mohammed stated that the affirmative mode of election was adopted in line with the APC constitution.
All the new SK, they have the mandate of the people. They give them their mandate through voice, through consensus. I think they should give out to the people the best out of them.
In his post-election speech, the new Katsina State APC chairman, Shitu Shaibu Shitu, pledged to be fair and just to all party members. He called on all eligible voters to obtain their voter card so as to exercise their franchise in the next year's general election. A cross-section of the delegates expressed satisfaction with the general conduct of stakeholders during the Congress. In Katsina, Bashir Ibrahim Nababa.
A faction of the All Progressives Congress in Enugu State, led by the Director General, Voice of Nigeria, Osita Okechukwu, has held a rescheduled state congress at the Nnamdi Azikiwe Stadium with incumbent chairman Ben Nwoye and other executive members emerging as winners. Ifeoma Nduokoye reports that 6 APC electoral panel from the national body, INEC officials and security agencies witnessed the election, which party members are judged free and fair.
The APC Congress was scheduled to hold nationwide this Saturday. Here in Enugu, APC stalwarts and party delegates converged on the venue of the Congress, but the process was marred following a rowdy session. It was therefore rescheduled for this Sunday by the APC electoral panel from Abuja. The rescheduled APC State Congress, which was held under tight security, produced the incumbent state chairman, Ben Nwoye, as the chairman, and 15 other executive members who were re-elected by about 2,000 accredited delegates from the party.
I'm happy that the delegates assembled here were the delegates that were validly elected in all the 260 wards of Enugu State.
I want them to make sure that by 2019 they deliver Enugu State to All Progressives Congress.
Party faithful are optimistic that they will deliver President Muhammadu Buhari come 2019 to consolidate on his achievements. In Enugu, Ifeoma Ndu-Okolie, NTN News.
Also, the All Progressives Congress party in Ebonyi State has held a parallel congress under the watch of security agents and the electoral umpire. Blessing Anyanwu reports that the Senator Julius Ucha-led faction congress was hitch-free.
The Congress, which took place at the party secretariat, had delegates from the 13 local government areas comprising 171 wards in Ebonyi State. Election of party officials commenced after accreditation of delegates.
Dr. S.N. Mwambe, 521 votes. By implication of this, Dr. S.N. Mwambe scored the highest vote and is the winner.
Here in Ebonyi State has been a successful one, despite the distractions and the complications created by the people who want to divide APC in Abebe State.
There is no need for all these wranglings, divisions, and confusion.
The Congress is very peaceful. That's why you have seen today. The people you are seeing here are the people that believe on the administration of President Muhammadu Buhari.
The mandate you have given me, I am not going to waste it.
Meanwhile, the Congress of the other faction took place at a different venue. In Abakaliki, Blessing Anyanwu, NTN News.
Now, former governor of Edo State and national chairmanship candidate for All Progressives Congress, APC, Comrade Adams Oshomole, has commended the new executive members of the Edo APC and party faithful for their conduct during Saturday's state congress. The former governor was speaking when the executive members paid him a visit after the congress. The report.
The former governor of Edo State, Adams Oshomole, who expressed satisfaction with the inclusiveness, maturity, and understanding exhibited by APC faithful in the state, and joined the new executives to drive the visions and policies of the APC in their various localities.
The more the people trust you, the more your obligation to continue to service that trust. And because the environment is dynamic, you can't say, and I don't have the luxury to say, I have done my best. We always can do better by challenging ourselves to improve even on the excellent record of yesterday.
The re-elected state chairman of the party, Anselm Ojezwa, commended Adams Oshomole for the visionary leadership he provided, which he said has culminated in the successes of the APC in Edo State.
We have been motivated by your leadership, and we have resolved that as we move forward, we will not be selfish with you. We will donate you to Nigeria.
The meeting afforded APC faithful the opportunity to strategize ahead of the national convention. In Benin, Adogbeji Ojegba, NTN News.
Going educational now, academic experts have advocated a collaborative effort towards raising the standard of mathematical sciences in the nation's institutions of higher learning. This was at the closing of the maiden edition of statistics competition for tertiary institutions in the country held in Abuja. Chukwunonsonwa Bueze reports that the University of Nigeria, Nsukka, emerged the overall best in both individual and institutional categories.
The importance of accurate data to national development cannot be overemphasized. It is in the light of this that the 4-day statistics competition was put together by the National Mathematical Center and the Nigerian Statistical Association to stimulate enthusiasm in the learning of mathematics and mathematical sciences among young Nigerian students. Chibike Emmanuel Ugu inspired the University of Niger and Nsukka to win both the students and the institution's top prizes after defeating his closest contenders, Chukwuemeka Azidiegwu of Nnamdi Azikiwe University, Awka, and Prince Anitienda of Akwa Ibom State University. With this maiden edition adjudged by many as successful, organizers are optimistic of staging a better one next year.
We are committed to encouraging and supporting activities such as this, leading to the improvement of the teaching and learning of mathematical sciences at all levels.
This year's competition centered on probability distribution. The sole aim of this competition is to rekindle the dwindling interest of students in statistics.
Statistics is not just the production of statistics, but also the dissemination and communication of statistics.
40 undergraduate students from 20 different institutions of higher learning in Nigeria participated in the competition. From the National Mathematical Center, Chukwunonsonwa Bueze, NTN News.
This year's World Bee Day focuses on the vital role honeybees and other pollinators play in providing for humanity, especially in the area of food production. This is coming as federal government re-emphasizes the need for protection of bee towards upscaling local production of honey to meet national and international demand. In this report, Musa Baba Aliyu takes a look at honey production in Nigeria.
For many, bees are nothing but annoying creatures. They buzz around, sting, and sometimes chase people around. But one interesting thing about bees is that without them around, there will be no human existence, scientists say. They prove that bees perform a task that is vital to crop production through pollination. It is also on record that 1/3 of global food supply is pollinated by bees. Even though Nigeria is housing millions of honeybees, the production of honey is on the low side.
Nigeria is making progress in that respect. There is a need of all MDAs and the private sector to come together and to draft a residue monitoring plan which should allow Nigeria to be listed to and authorized to export honey to Europe.
Records of the Federal Ministry of Agriculture show that the country currently is producing about 15,000 metric tons of honey and 2,500 metric tons of beeswax annually. The country, according to the Minister of Agriculture, has the potential to produce close to 1 million tons of the commodity.
Things that we have to do is make a residue monitoring plan for the honey. And this plan is to detect some levels of antibiotics, pesticides, or heavy metals that are in the honey. Now they have to reach a minimum residue level, which is acceptable to the EU.
The global honey business trade stands at $7 billion with annual demand and supply of 1.4 million tons at $5,000 per ton. In Abuja, Musa Baba Aliyu, NTA News.
More on the benefits of health. Nigerians have been advised to eat well, engage in adequate exercise, and ensure regular medical checkup in order to be free from terminal diseases. This was the view of medical experts at the medical outreach at Aleita community in the Federal Capital Territory as part of the World Hypertension Day. Basi Taipman reports that the outreach was at the instance of Omotayo Kidney Care Foundation.
32-year-old Stella Moses is one of the many other Nigerians who are either too busy, do not have access to a medical facility, or are ignorant of the need for medical checkup.
At least they are checking on people who don't have the time to go for checkup.
To Stella and many other residents of this community, the medical outreach is a welcome development.
Like me now, my BP now is high. Most people don't know about their BP. Like one of your experts said that BP is a silent killer.
Thank you very much for their work where they come do for us here.
gave me small paper to go and meet doctor to check me again.
Realizing that hypertension is identified as the most common non-communicable disease in Nigeria, Omotayo Kidney Care Foundation is in this community to create awareness on ways to healthy living.
Awareness about the importance of prevention of various diseases, especially hypertension and kidney disease.
By checking their blood pressure, by checking their sugar level, by checking their urine for protein, glucose, ketones, and all that.
The outreach, which featured health talks, vital checks, treatment, and referrals, is part of the 2018 World Hypertension Day with the theme, Know Your Figure. Basi Taikman, NTA News.
Participants at the 2018 Seminar on Radio and Television Expertise Training for African countries have urged the African Union to integrate national channels of all African countries into StarTimes satellite and other service providers in all countries. This was contained in a 21-point communique issued at the end of the 3-week program held in Beijing, China. The participants say the training should be complemented with grants of broadcast equipment to facilitate the digitization switchover in Africa. The participants also urged China to source and transmit more African content to the Chinese, just as it does in African countries, while acknowledging the support of China to the development of Africa, especially the Belt and Road Initiative. The 41 participants urged the most populous country to do more for the continent. And now sports. Nigeria's national under-20 football team, Flying Eagles, on Sunday reached the final round of the qualification series for the 2019 AFCON under-20 with a lone goal victory over Guinea-Bissau in Calabar. Nigeria thus progressed on a 3-2 aggregate as the first leg had ended 2-2. Amanzi Marcus has more on the NPFL and Kwese Basketball League, amongst others.
Kwara United Football Club of Ilorin beat MFM of Lagos 3-1 on Sunday to get 26 points from 22 matches in the Nigeria Professional Football League and gradually move away from the relegation zone. The match was transmitted live by the NTA.
They shouldn't let their guards off. If they do, they'll get punished. Stephen Alfred. Good opportunity. It's a goal!
Niger Tornadoes won away to Ifeanyi Uba, while Kano Pillars forced Nasarawa United to a goalless draw at the Lafia Township Stadium. Meanwhile, Hoops and Reed defeated Police Baton 75-47 weekend in the Atlantic Conference of the Kwese Premier Basketball League. Anambra Flames, however, lost at home 66-69 points to Kwara Falcons. In tennis, it was a rematch of last year's final as Ukraine's Elena Svitolina won a second Italian Open title, beating Simona Halep 6-love, 6-4. Halep, the Romanian who staged a comeback to defeat Svitolina in the 2017 French Open, could not repeat that feat in Rome, especially after a medical timeout in the second set. Sunday's victory is a morale booster for the women's world number 4 ahead of the French Open at Roland Garros on May 27. Olympic and world 10,000 meters champion Mo Farah of Great Britain on Sunday emerged champion of the Great Manchester Run, beating Uganda's Moses Kipsiro by 1 second in a sprint finish to win in 28 minutes 27 seconds. Kenya's Abel Kirui placed third in the 10 kilometers race. In the women's category, Tirunesh Dibaba of Ethiopia won her 5th title and a 3rd consecutive victory with a time of 31 minutes 8 seconds, with Jocelyn Jepkosgei of Kenya second in 31 minutes 57 seconds and compatriot Betsy Saina third. About 30,000 runners participated in the 16th Great Manchester City Run. With sports update, Amanzi Marcus, NTA News.
And next is a look at Monday's weather prospect.
Thank you for joining us on the weather segment from the Nigerian Meteorological Agency. I am Issa Helimbwe. There has been relaxation in rainfall activities across most parts of the country in the last couple of days. One day looks a bit different as we'll expect thunderstorms with rains over most parts of the north. These rains should spread across parts of the central cities, places like Minna, Kaduna, Jos, Yola, Mambila Plateau, Abuja, Lokoja, extending towards the inland and the coastal states. Further into the day, most of the country should be predominantly cloudy, although slim chances of rainfall activities are not unlikely over parts of the northeast, high grounds of the central cities, and the southern states. Next is temperature forecast. Thank you for watching, and bye for now.
We take a commercial break, and Becky returns with Newsline after.
Are you sure you want to do this?
Adam, go and bring us your husband. Okay, hello baby.
We're in this together, okay? Can you hear me? Keep coming forward.
Wait, stop.
You okay, Lindsay, you alright? Keep walking down, keep walking to the left, yes?
You're almost here?
Keep going.
You are here. Wow, you did it.
I'm just so glad I didn't have to use my cane to do this.
And I am so glad no other man got you before me. Let me be your eyes.
We will never stop working to give you a network you can rely on, so you can enjoy life's special moments. MTN, everywhere you go.
So you gotta have a smile, no matter what it takes. Gotta take pure bliss now. I love the way it tastes. Feel the pure bliss burn from the toes to your face. Gotta take pure bliss now. Feel the bliss today. Say oh, 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 oh. Gotta take feel the bliss today. Say oh, 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 oh.
Light up your day with Pure Bliss milk cookies. Also available Pure Bliss milk cream wafers and rich cocoa biscuits.
Do you want to attend a world-class university? One with a conducive environment for learning. A university that is fully residential for students and lecturers. State-of-the-art facilities. Reformatory academic programs for the 21st century. A university where excellence is rewarded. Afe Babalola University, the fastest growing educational institution in Africa.
Songs of Nigeria Festival, Sonifest 2018. Theme, Harnessing the Beauty of Our Diversity, holds on Thursday, May 24th, 2018 at the International Conference Center, Abuja. Time 5 p.m. prompt. Under the distinguished chairmanship of Her Excellency, Lady Victoria Agui Ironsi, wife of the first military head of state of Nigeria. Keynote speaker and special guest of honor, Mr. Boss Mustafa, Secretary to the Government of the Federation. Guest of honor, Alhaji Lai Mohammed, Honorable Minister of Information and Culture. Highlights of the festival shall be the presentation of Nigeria Diversity Champion Award to deserving states, institutions, and individuals whose sacrificial service to the fatherland has promoted our unity in diversity, and the formal unveiling of Nigerian People's Diversity Center. For participation, call 090-850-10,000. Announcer, Barrister Chuks Akamadu, MIOD, Executive.
There is a reason Africa is called the new frontier. What was once potential is now an opportunity ready to be seized. Once revered for our resources, today's wealth lies in our people who build the cities that shape the future. People who know an idea in one place means business in another. A generation for whom technology means there are no borders, no boundaries. We are the new lions in a brave new world, kings of the urban jungle. And there's a bank that puts the world in our pocket and the future in our hands. UBA, Africa's global bank.
Thanks for staying on the line. We wish to caution viewers that some reports contain flash photography. Viewer discretion is advised. Now, there is a beautiful countryside in Jigawa State. The occupation of the people in this environment is why the atmosphere is refreshing and great for relaxation. Hamis Rogo, who was on transit through the countryside, brings amazing pictures of the landscape of Hadejia.
The countryside of Abuja is blessed, beautiful and restless. You always come across amazing pictures here with great symbolism. Images of migration by different occupational groups are the most common. Fulani form the bulk of these migration pictures. Ever so mobile, they are always on the move to where the grass is greener. This little group of women and children are speeding up to catch up with the larger group, ahead with the larger herds of cattle and sheep. Along the way also, we stop for this scene at a water point. Hundreds of camels turn up here every day for their water needs. The water point accommodates other livestock too, but when camels are out of the way. Due to the rich endowment of this countryside, camel grazers from as far places as the Niger Republic and Libya bring their livestock to graze around this Nigerian environment. This man actually says they are from Agadez, a far-flung city in Niger Republic. They are moving home now. This countryside is busy all year round. It is dry season now, but you are always confronted with pictures of agriculture. It supports massive crop production, wheat, maize and rice. That apart, the farm movements excite me. Pictures of farmers patrolling the farmlands with their craft, and images of structure that reflect a vibrant agricultural environment. I was getting late for my formal assignment in Kirikasama, collecting these pictures. Then I ran into this scenario. I had a mind to let it be and keep my date. But the pictures are so strong on my head, I couldn't let go. This is not a fishing festival or any festival at all. It is a fishing for survival. This is a model of some of the fish they catch. Babatozo. In communities around this area of Hadejia, tens of water points exist that allow for all year-round fishing. This is one of it. In this place, people come from great distances to be part of the fishing exercises. It is a daily routine that allows fishermen across the neighborhoods to fish and find a living.
Livelihood. All the people you see here will not go home without having some income to support their lives.
We were crowded for time. We could not witness when the net would be dragged out of water for these fishermen to scramble for the catches, like Maitaru wanted us to do. However, he told us that people come from various areas of Hadejia to buy the fish caught here. He also told us the fish here can be bigger than what we can see. I guess the Hadejia area is very big and beautiful too.
Hadejia is beautiful, and Hamis always takes us to amazing places, yeah? Keep them coming. Moving on, Ado Road is a popular route in the Lekki-Aja axis of Lagos. People who regularly commute through that stretch at some point must have seen the subject of the coming report. Not only does it help direct traffic, most times it fills the potholes that riddle the road with stones. Agreed, there are many men who volunteer to carry out such service in virtually every town. But this man is not like all the others, not even close. Joy Ken Abakoya will take us to him.
Like Becky mentioned, he works day and night directing traffic and filling bad portions on Ado Road in the heart of Aja. His aim is simply to make the terrain motorable for movement. His consistency and diligence is what caught my attention And with that curiosity, I decided to know more about him from residents in the area.
Whenever there's rain or flood, the road is in a bad condition, but he's the only one I know that uses that wants to make the road motorable for all of us.
One thing that amazes me most is the material he uses are not being provided by government. He sorts them out himself.
We will not be only here in the do Okera, Kekereje, Akins, in the do everything. This kind of man should be a man that people should, as in the government should recognize.
Just like you are right now, I too was surprised to hear he isn't on the local government's payroll. He's not sponsored by private concern either. Why then is he doing this?
My own belief is not what your country can do for you. It is what you can do for your country. I don't ask them for anything. They see what I do, either in the rain or in the sun. I'm here 16 hours every day from 4 a.m. to 10 p.m.
Talk about selflessness. But wait for this. Further interactions with this gentleman uncovered more than I bargained for.
My name is Basi Etim Ayomba. My last competition was 1984 Olympic Games.
Really? Ayomba Basi, the famous weightlifter of the 80s? For youngsters who may not know him and others who may need to be reminded, Ayomba Basi was in 1981 one of Nigeria's favorite weightlifters. He won several gold medals for his sporting prowess, first at the Lagos Sports Festival and the National Festival Sports in Benin City, then 3 gold medals at the African Weightlifting Championship in Egypt. He added a bronze medal to his collection of laurels at the 1984 Commonwealth Games. The downer to Ayomba's story happened at the 1984 Olympics in Los Angeles. At that moment of glory, Nigeria's beloved powerlifter's career crashed like a pack of cards.
I was guaranteed that at least if I don't win any medal, I will win bronze medal. So due to the final, I sustained an injury in the Olympics. I torn my quadricep.
He tells us how he braved the odds and picked up the pieces of what life offered outside lifting those heavy kilos.
I took out of my life saving. Then I went back to America to take care of my injury.
I approached some of his contemporaries of more than 3 decades ago, and they remember him fondly.
Ayomba Basi. He was my teammate. Like we used to call him Steve Barr. That's his nickname among we weightlifters. Bauchi State in particular should also do something because he was their staff. He represented them severally at national championships, winning medals.
Ayomba was #1 in Nigeria, was #1 in Africa.
Ayomba Basi has 2 daughters. The eldest, he says, is in the United States Navy, and the younger is married with children. Call him a hero and you won't be wrong. Although he spends his days working for free on Ado Road, Ayomba Basi Etim plans to live out his remaining days loving his grandchildren in no distant time.
They said, "Grandpa, when are you coming back?" I said, "Wait, there's something I have to finish in Nigeria, because the volunteer service is going to be 3 years. I want to put in 3 years. So January 1st will be my 3 years.
That was a touching one, touching in a good way. Ayomba is a poster child for volunteerism. Way to go. Now they come in hefty bales and flood the markets to the legions of customers across Nigeria. Bend Down Boutique, Okrika. Fairly used, the names are one and same for second-hand clothing and accessories. In this next feature, Elizabeth Awuga will examine why many Nigerians have a preference for imported used clothes.
This is Tejesho Market in Yaba, Lagos. It is one of the busiest markets known for selling second-hand goods. Almost anything you can imagine is found in this market. From dresses to suits, ties to jeans, undies to shoes, everything fashion has its second-hand option. New additions, which happens to have gained prominence, are second-hand wigs, jewelries, and kitchen utensils. What can't you buy in this category? Sellers and buyers know that Okrika or Tokumbo come in different grades. The price of each item depends on the ranking. First grade is considered durable and consequently more expensive, while second and third grades are cheaper and sell 2
a penny.
Naturally, you prefer something that is cheap and at the same time it will serve you. So that is why sometimes we come here to pick from this place.
I like putting them on. They are very strong and they last past new one.
I've been going for this for a very long time. And whenever I bought them, I use them for a very long time. And I prefer them more than all these China products.
Tokumbo socket. You may change socket for more than 10 times in a month. But the old ones there, you can use it for the next 5 years.
Shocking as it may sound, ladies' panties and bras are in high demand. And women who prefer this undergarment to new ones insist that fairly used undies are not only durable but unique.
I like something like this, especially okay. It do last. If Tokumo things are not well, okay, you will not see anybody there.
If you can get the new one will not last like the okay one.
Sounds like they are loyal to their choice. Who are we to judge? Yet, I'm moved to wonder about the health implications of wearing second-hand items on intimate body parts.
Using second-hand pants and bra is wrong. I don't see anything bad in it, but I cannot wear it because I can a little bit afford to buy a new one.
It's not only on the wear. Even the remaining parts that they have used in abroad, they will bring it down here for us to be using, which is not proper.
There are a lot of infections that we can get, fungal infections from some of these items, especially the bra that have been known to be carcinogenic to the breast, especially after a lot of usage, eats and releases some of the chemicals that cause cancer, especially of the breast.
Oh yes, they all agree that it is a matter of choice. For traders who are smiling to the bank, it is good business. And for buyers who appreciate its durability, it is a win-win.
It is certain that there will always be the culture of selling and buying of second-hand clothing. Elsewhere, they call them vintage, not bend-down boutique. Let's now turn our attention to the culture of discipline. Our focus is on children of school age. Mohammed Abdulkadri made some findings which he collated in this report you're about to watch. From what he gathered, the age-long adage, spare the rod, spoil the child, may as well be extinct in Nigeria, judging from the current stance of parents and the school system on the issue.
In those days, the use of cane as a means of instilling discipline in primary and post-primary institutions in Nigeria was tied to the philosophy and the slogan of the belief that when you spare the rod, you spoil the child.
Who are you to make noise in the class?
Hey.
Who are you to talk in the class? When you see cane, when teachers come with cane, he will smack you. And when you are reported at home, they will smack you again. It was the norm then. So something normal, we also used to it. We didn't see it as flogging. We didn't see it as something bad. In fact, there are some teachers back then that we know as very good floggers.
Nowadays, some teachers, head of schools and proprietors who are products of cane dare not lay hands on any pupil for fear of violating the Child's Right Act.
Of course, the Nigerian law is sacrosanct about such things.
Most parents today, on who the cane was not spared, now spare the rod on their children and ever ready to challenge in court the caning of their children in school as a disciplinary measure.
There is a law in the state that allows only the principal or designated person to use the cane.
When you beat any children, the parents will go and say they will arrest the parents for beating the child.
Those who are products of the use of cane in those days say the fear of the teacher's cane that time was the beginning of wisdom.
That is the thing, we can't be pretenders. We have to face the reality.
I'm in support of using cane in the school, but to some extent.
Can today's pupils and students tolerate being caned by their teachers?
Cane, whenever you are being flogged with cane, it somehow pains you and sometimes it injures you. So I don't think any students like cane.
After independence in 1960, Nigeria's educational sector was remodeled to suit the Nigerian system. The use of the cane as a disciplinary measure was not in contention. Back then, teachers were seen to have failed in their responsibility if they did not cane any erring child.
When you want to correct indiscipline in school, most cases you make use of cane.
The question to be asked is, since today's teachers have thrown away their canes by omission or commission and are sparing the rod, are the pupils now spoiled or better? Your guess is as good as mine.
And Mohammed, just to add to that, life is dynamic yet change is constant, so we must get with the program. When Newsline returns, it's celebration galore. Love knows no boundaries. You'll find out what we mean when we showcase the wedding of some political bigwigs. Stay on the line. We'll be right back.
Bring hot chocolate 3-in-1, a delicious combination of rich cocoa and wholesome goodness of milk. Just add hot water to get an instant chocolatey treat. Cadbury Hot Chocolate 3-in-1. Just add hot water.
I no longer worry about deodorant stains with Nivea Invisible for black and white deodorant. No white marks on black and no yellow stains on white. My black stays black and white stays white longer. Invisible for black and white deodorant from Nivea.
Also available, Nivea Men Invisible for black and white deodorant from Nivea Men. It starts with you. Sedap Supreme Noodles, capturing the tasty goodness. It's the Sedap Supreme Chicken Essence that gives it the truly delicious chicken taste. With real chicken essence. Be Supreme, Nigeria.
If you don't get money, hide your face. You can call me small doctor. Omo ya teacher. What's it bad penalty or throwing?
Airtel, the smartphone network.
NASCO are whole flake to retain
Mommy,
all the
what does
nutrients.
whole flakes mean? It means come on, eat your breakfast. We're going to be late for school, and stop talking with your mouth full.
Whole flaked is the natural process of making cornflakes. NASCO cornflakes are made with only fresh yellow sunripe corn that is flaked whole to retain all the natural goodness of the whole corn for whole nutrition, whole taste, and whole crunchiness for the whole family.
So you mean you don't know what whole flaked means?
So next time you're eating cornflakes, make sure it's whole flaked NASCO cornflakes.
Welcome back. We wish to caution viewers that some reports contain flash photography. Via discretion is advised. For Rashida Abba and Murtala Abdullahi, their new chapter began with wedding contracts at Al Nur Central Mosque, Abuja, with several dignitaries present at the occasion. Hadiza Naja Atsu Tijani reports that the bride is daughter of President Muhammadu Buhari's personal assistant, Muhammad Sariki Abba.
This prayer signifies the binding of two consenting adults, Rashida Abba and Murtala Abdullahi, according to Islamic marriage principles. The union carried out by proxy with the couple's representatives and witnessed by many dignitaries, including Speaker, House of Representatives Yakubu Dogara, and FCT Minister Muhammad Musa Bello, brings together two families from Borno and Adamawa. Father of the bride, Muhammad Sarki Abba, who is the personal assistant to President Muhammadu Buhari, received 100,000 naira from his new in-laws as bride price.
Thankful to the people that come in for the wedding, and I show my appreciation.
The nikah was followed by a reception at the Aso Villa Banquet Hall, where several personalities shared their secret for marital bliss.
Basically that every marriage is different, they should be treated differently, they should run their own programs, set their own rules and parameters, and prepare to live happily after and solve all their problems.
You ought to sanctify it, you ought to treat it with dignity, you ought to respect each other, you ought to live in love and harmony.
Never allow third parties in their marriage. They should also never sleep over a quarrel. And most importantly, they should be friends with one another. We can only wish them the very best, and inshallah, plenty children.
The groom Murtala is a businessman based in Abuja, while the bride Rashida is a graduate of economics.
Congrats to the new couple. It was a gathering of political heavyweights from across the country who came to witness the wedding between Aisha Inuwa and Khalifa Umaru Aminu in Sokoto. Malami Dongo Dachi reports that Aisha is the daughter of the National Vice Chairman, Northeast of the APC.
The relationship between Aisha and Umar eventuates into a marriage union, which is why parents of the couple have reasons to celebrate. Aisha and Umar were once babies under the complete care of their parents. They have now come of age to build a family of their own. Family, friends and well-wishers from across Nigeria and beyond constitute people who attended the wedding. At the center stage of this gathering were top politicians, bureaucrats, businessmen and community leaders. Barrister Inu Abdul, who is the APC Zonal Vice Chair, is parent to the bride and host at the wedding.
I'm really happy and delighted, and it's an indication of the goodwill and the support one has across the country.
Representatives on the side of the bride and groom took some time consulting before this day. Now, after the dowry has been paid, a team of scholars headed by Chief Imam Sheikh Buhari Siridawa affirmed the marriage union. Parents, friends and well-wishers advised the couple on how to build a happy home.
She should be patient. There is nothing like a patient. She should be patient to her husband. She should be patient to the relatives of her husband and also the parents too.
People have come from all local across this country to share this joy with us. So we are moved. We are happy. I'm elated.
I'm advising them to look upon each other as example. Always be peaceful. If there is need for if there's any problem in the house, they should take it calmly, because whatever it is, it will come and pass.
Earlier, this gathering, dominated by the women folk, sought to remind the bride on roles she's expected to play to keep the home. Beside advice, Walima is thanksgiving by the bride and her parents for the beautiful day. The wedding ceremony was perhaps the most exotic held in Sokoto in recent times. The guests share in not just the joy of the parents, family and the couple, but in the dishes and delicacies. High point of the ceremony was the cutting of cake by the bride and groom to mark the start of a life built together as husband and wife.
Nice way to start life's journey. Happy married life to them. The Awujale and paramount ruler of Ijebuland, Oba Sikiru Kayode Adetono, says he is determined to bequeath a legacy of sound education to the next generation of Nigerians. The royal father reiterated this at an annual lecture series to mark his 84th birthday. Joel Popola reports that the event, which was well attended, took place at the Olabisi Onabonjo University at Goiwoyi.
Communication giants Globacom, apart from adding value to the nation's economy through numerous innovations and giant strides in the telecommunication industry, is also helping to set a template for good leadership in Nigeria. with the provision of financial support of 20 million naira for the professorial chair in governance at the Department of Political Science, Olabisi Onabanjo University at Goiwe. The second annual lecture series of Oba Sikiru Kayode Adetono Professorial Chair in Governance, sponsored by Globacom, is also to commemorate the 84th birthday of the Awujale and paramount ruler of Ijebu land. Globacom Chief Executive Officer Dr. Mike Adenuga, represented by Mr. Tolu Aderibigbe, says the lecture with the theme Civil Society and Governance in Nigeria's Evolving Democracy 1999 to 2018 is apt.
Further the noble objective of the chair, which is enshrinement of transparency and good governance in the country.
Ogun State Governor Senator Ibikunle Amosun, represented by his deputy, Mrs. Yetunde Ononuga, and the chairman of the occasion, Professor Anthony Ashiwaju, commended the noble objective of Oba Sikiru Kayode Adetono.
The decision of the professorial chair has further consolidated the position of the university in the midst of its peers in our country.
The celebrant Oba Sikiru Kayode Adetono described the professorial chair in governance as a way of deepening democratic ideals.
Which of course is the primary function of the government.
Prominent Nigerians and illustrious Ijebu indigenes extol the virtues of the monarch.
The particular monarch has always intervened when things have gone very bad. Abebe has been very awesome, successful, and I thank God for the grace.
Praise the celebrant for his uprightness and for always tackling anything that amounts to poor governance.
It's been an age-long contribution. Remember that when he was first crowned as the Awujale, he was made a minister with that portfolio.
Good thing that he has done. I pray that the legacy endures.
The professorial chair in government is one of the most viable things on that campus.
84 hearty cheers to the monarch. One of the leading global construction companies in cement production, Lafarge Africa PLC, has once again matched words with actions by proposing a dividend of ₦1.50 to shareholders. Chairman, Board of Directors Mobolaji Balogun, while presenting the company's 2017 annual financial report, assured shareholders of a better performance in 2018. Abolade Salami has the details.
Lafarge Africa PLC is a leading cement producer in the sub-Saharan Africa, with plants in Ewekoro and Shagamu in the southwest, with Famosin in the south-south and Ashaka in the northeast of Nigeria. Lafarge PLC currently has a 10.5 million tons per annum installed cement production capacity in the country. In fulfillment of the company's mission of building for growth, Lafarge Africa PLC had an increase of 36% in turnover in the year 2017.
But also more importantly, I think it's an indication that some of the company's indices have also grown in the past year. The top line has improved. Cash generation was a little better, still not as strong as we would hope. All of those things give us the confidence to reward shareholders. We show that we appreciate the support they've given us.
The financial report, although had some figures on the red, thus the company's management said will be critically addressed.
We are asking for the flexibility to raise additional 100 billion naira bond. So it's purely for flexibility and to be able to go to the market in the future when there is opportunity. I'm convinced that actually all the turnaround plan, the restructuring that we have implemented for the last 18 months will continue to deliver.
In terms of improvement, measurable, so that the board can see the tangible achievement. And you can see it as well, because EBITDA in percentage dramatically increased end of 2017. Total amount of EBITDA is more than double compared to 2016.
The board of directors thereafter proposed the sum of ₦1.50 per share dividend to shareholders.
We acknowledge that there are challenges, but what is paramount to us today is the ability of the company to surmount those challenges. We are assured as shareholders that next year will be far better than this year by way of dividend and by way of return on our investments.
The management of Lafarge PLC at its 59th annual general meeting assured shareholders that the team is working towards an improvement in profit after tax in the years ahead.
FBN Holdings, the parent company of First Bank of Nigeria Limited and one of the largest financial institutions in Nigeria, has recorded a profit before tax of 56.8 billion naira for the year ended December 31st, 2017. The growth in earnings per share reflects improved profitability of 205.4% over that of the preceding year. Some of these facts emerge from FBN Holdings' 6th annual general meeting in Lagos. Cordelia Kwoma filed in this report.
First Bank Holdings PLC says it is proud to have overcome the unfavorable economic climate of 2016 recession, when the gross domestic product (GDP) sank by 1.5%, a negative growth that continued till the first quarter of 2017. The devaluation of the naira and migration of deposits from the commercial banks to the Central Bank of Nigeria did not help matters. Amidst the recovering macroeconomic environment, Group Chairman Obatudeko said FBN Holdings remains resolute to fulfill its commitment to shareholders. Performance of the stock generated 150% in 2017, thereby outperforming the Nigerian Stock Exchange All-Share Index return of 42% during the year under review. Dividend payments, therefore, was in the total sum of 8.973 billion naira, which translates to 25 kobo per 50 kobo ordinary share.
You can see that we have steady growth on all parameters, and essentially we're a stronger bank in terms of our fundamentals.
We had challenging year, 2016-2017, the recession, but we began to look for other sources of revenue in the commercial bank, and we saw a quantum leap of non-interest income relative to the total earnings, moving from 13% to 22%.
The dividend being paid, which is the bottom line, which shareholders take home, increased over last year. And the result is showing optimism that the next coming year will be better.
You can see in the accounts, they have issued 10 million cards. No bank in West Africa has done that, and this is commendable.
Impressed shareholders voted for the re-election of the directors of the bank and the election of audit committee members. FBN Holdings PLC has 6 direct subsidiaries and 2 indirect subsidiaries, the main one being the First Bank, Nigeria's premier commercial bank with over 10 million customers in 10 countries of the world.
Moving on, Total Upstream Nigeria Limited and Total Nigeria, in collaboration with other stakeholders in the fight against HIV/AIDS, have provided an opportunity for people in Jos Plateau State to know their status. And Adeyaba Gang has more on this.
You have tested and you have accepted. The only option is to look for treatment. And once you are on treatment, you have already beaten discrimination. You have the courage. That is exactly what I did.
Isaac Pakil is just one out of over 3 million Nigerians who are living with HIV/AIDS. But in the midst of fear and discrimination, he chose to stand out and speak about his HIV status, which many live in denial of. To him, he who lives it knows it. With 40% of people with HIV and unaware of their status, keying into the United Nations 1990 strategy of providing opportunity for people to know their status, Total Group in Nigeria is empowering the staff of Total Nigeria PLC and select staff of Jos North and South as peer educators who will serve as change agents in the fight against the 3 diseases.
As a peer educator, I've gained more knowledge and understanding, especially on the issue of stigmatization.
You cannot call somebody who is living with HIV a victim of HIV.
The target of Total Group in Nigeria and Niboka is to get a 0 infection rate by 2020 in Nigeria.
These 3 diseases, there are certain things in common. And what they have in common is that they affect the body immunity, that is, the immune system is not affected. And that's why if we're actually addressing HIV, you are bound to actually address tuberculosis and malaria.
And not the only diseases we're dealing with. We are in the process of constructing and equipping an oncology center, Port Harcourt. At the moment, we are constructing 4 maternal and child referral clinics in the Northeast.
We have this target that by 2020, that is 90% of the population should know their HIV status.
If they can trickle down this training to our tertiary institutions so that we will have DEX officers.
To this leading international oil and gas company and a major player in low-carbon energies with over 98,000 employees and operates in 130 countries, coordinated efforts, expanded HIV prevention and treatment intervention, as well as integration of HIV/AIDS into the broader health sector will ensure a HIV-free generation.
Another break is on cue. Let's take it and be right back. Stay on the line.
Hate speech is not a joke. It incites genocide and crimes against humanity. Most of Africa's civil wars are caused by hate speech from one tribe against another. We don't want it here. The Nigerian government stands firm against hate speech.
Under no conditions whatsoever should we tolerate or excuse or justify hate speech or hateful conduct of any kind, especially where such is illegal.
There's no doubt that the resurgent push for separatism, as well as the rising cases of ethnic and religious disharmony, are all traceable to the growing phenomenon of hate speech.
One nation bound in freedom, peace and unity.
Nigeria, one nation, one people.
This is a public service announcement brought to you by NTA.
If you don't get money, hide your face. You can call me small doctor. Omo ya teacher. What's the bad penalty you're throwing?
Airtel, the smartphone network.
I no longer worry about deodorant stains with Nivea Invisible for black and white deodorant. No white marks on black and no yellow stains on white. My black stays black and white stays white longer. Invisible for black and white deodorant from Nivea.
Also available, Nivea Men Invisible for black and white deodorant from Nivea Men. It starts with you.
Brought us as usual.
As usual. You have no problem.
For the three
You are welcome, sir.
As usual, yeah?
You take that one. You take that one. You don't understand? We want Nigeria homegrown rice. Finish. You don't have. You don't have.
Join the rice revolution today.
No other rice that tastes like Nigerian rice. Are you sorry? That's the Nigerian rice we are talking about. Chocolate made in Nigerian rice. Healthy food. I'm going to bring Mrs. Momo to come to chocolate rice of made in Nigeria here. And see how it are made.
Correct.
And how they are cook it.
Correct.
Homegrown rice are good for your health. It boosts our economy and give employment to our people.
This message is brought to you by the Federal Ministry of Information and Culture.
Experience, they say, is the best teacher.
They hold us from the sea. Thank God that we came back home. They should not go there because it's not good. It's a very bad place. So they just may have us. Even now, sir, they are shooting the boat they are going to use to go Italy. May they stop it. Our country is good. Our country is a blessed country. Now I know our country is a blessed country. I know before I for not travel from Nigeria to Libya. I know how much I spent.
Let these personal experiences serve as a lesson to all who would repeat their mistakes. A word is enough for the wise.
This is a public service announcement brought to you by NTA.
Get the latest news and updates from across Nigeria on NTA Nationwide. NTA Nationwide, weekdays by 4 p.m. Get it first. Get it fresh.
Have you back? We wish to caution viewers that some reports contain flash photography. Viewer discretion is advised. Electronic giant LG has thrown its weight behind Super Eagles striker Alex Iwobi to excel at the upcoming FIFA World Cup in Russia next month. This was at a media forum where the Nigerian international football star was unveiled as the latest brand ambassador of the electronic firm. Gift George has the details.
World-leading electronic brand LG says it is part of its social corporate responsibility to encourage exceptional talents who bring honor and glory to the country. This was the main reason behind the selection of Arsenal and Super Eagles attacker Alex Iwobi as brand ambassador of LG Electronics for the significant role he played in the Super Eagles qualification for the FIFA World Cup for the 6th time.
This contract, our main focus is to highlight on the new talent in Nigeria. Hopefully we'll be right. Hopefully he will pay back to Nigeria the day he scored and gave the hope back to Nigeria to go and be represented in the World Cup. I felt like this guy should really be appreciated. We should put a highlight on, and I'm very confident that he will give to Nigeria more than what we expect.
He's very young, talented, and very vibrant. And even like he is the key person to make Nigeria to get qualified in FIFA World Cup.
22-year-old Alex Iwobi made his debut for the national team in 2015 and has scored 4 goals so far for the Eagles. He said he is proud to be associated with LG Electronics, and the gesture will spur him to make the country proud at the World Cup.
LG is a quality company. They've been producing goods for how many years now, and for me, even though I'm still young, I'm still involved with what I say is one of the biggest countries in Africa, one of the biggest countries in the world to me. So as you can see, we're both quality, and I'm looking forward to working with them. Growing up as a kid, I remember having my first LG phone. I was always excited to be holding the LG phone, so to be a brand ambassador is a big thing because of what I've done, and to get the recognition I've been getting is amazing, but there's still work to do. I'm looking forward to the World Cup, and I can't wait to participate in my first one. I'm just going to give my best, do my best for the fans, do my best for my family, so we'll see as far as we can get.
The contract was signed by Alex Iwobi and LG representatives. The contract will span for 3 years.
Congrats to Alex Iwobi. Now, one of Africa's most influential professional bodies, known for the validation of professionalism in the banking industry, now has a new team to run its affairs for the next 2 years. Amaka Owo was at the investiture of the new president and chairman of the Chartered Institute of Bankers of Nigeria, CIBN, in Lagos.
Abide, uphold, protect, promote the Chartered Institute of Bankers of Nigeria. The Chartered Institute of Bankers of Nigeria.
That was the oath-taking and official investiture of the newly elected president and chairman of council of the Chartered Institute of Bankers of Nigeria, Mr. Uche Olowu. The decoration and transfer of baton by the outgoing president, Professor Segun Ajibola, signaled the commencement of a new era. Mr. Olowu, an erudite scholar and astute banker with wealth of experience that span over 30 years, in the banking industry performed his first official assignment by inaugurating new council members and office holders. In his acceptance speech, the new chairman promised to focus on 5 strategic areas, including research and advocacy, to bring about the needed growth in the banking sector.
We are going to push for that sovereign risk exposure to be made good. That is first. And then also we are going to introduce instruments of local trade to assure payment confidence in the system.
Other members of the institute and key players in the banking industry expressed their confidence and expectations from the new leadership.
We will continue to support the institute and by so doing continue to support the industry.
I call on CIBN to be at the forefront of sensitization of the banking industry on the real threat posed by fintech in the industry.
We owe it as a solemn duty to make sure that we are trusted and we do what is needful at all times to uphold this level of integrity and, of course, professionalism.
We are part of this new team that is charting a new course for the institute, and we think that in 2 years' time there will be a fair history to say, yes, we've done extremely well.
The Chartered Institute of Bankers of Nigeria is the umbrella body that determines the standards and skills to be attained by persons seeking to become members of the banking profession.
Some lucky winners have emerged in the ongoing Mamador Kitchen Makeover promo for the month of May. Gifts such as airtime, cooking pots, gas cookers, and double-door refrigerators were among prizes, while another lucky customer walked away with the ultimate prize of a total kitchen makeover. Take a look.
Nigeria, welcome to the first raffle draw of the Mamador Kitchen Makeover promo. It's going to be running for 3 months, and you know that 3 months is enough time for you to get on board and be one of our lucky winners. Now, every month, thousands of Mamador consumers stand a chance to win instant airtime, gift bags, customized cooking pots, gas cookers, double-door refrigerators, and the ultimate prize, a complete total kitchen makeover. Woo! Okay, I got that out of the way. Now, all you need to do is buy as many 2.5 liters and 3.5 liter bottles of Mamador cooking oil. Follow the instructions and you could be one of our lucky winners. My name is Ufoma McDermott and I will be your host for the Mamador Kitchen Makeover raffle draw. Okay, to kick off, we have 300 gift bags to give away. Please do me the honors. So we have our winners. And we'll be giving out our customized cooking pots. Okay, please do us the honors. Now, to help me present our next set of gifts, which are deep fryers, I'm going to be asking Mr. Shegun Additional, Head of Retail Sales, to join me up here. Okay, to present the next set of prizes, which are standing cookers, I will be asking Mrs. Faith Akintunde, HR Business Partner, PZ Wema, to join me here. To do this, I will be calling on Mr. Mohit Kumar, Head of Sales, PZ Wema, to help me out. There we go. We're going to be giving away deep freezers, chest freezers. To help me do this, I'll be calling on Mobola Akin Fatodun, who is the brand manager for Mamador Cooking Oil. We've come to the time for the ultimate prize for the month. A complete, a whole, a total kitchen makeover. Please help me welcome Mrs. Viola Olasende, who is the company secretary for PZ Cousins, to help me out. I will call and see if we can surprise this winner today.
Hello. Hello. My name is Ufoma McDermott and I'm calling you from the Mamador Kitchen Makeover promo show. Did you by any chance play our promo? Did you participate in our promo? Yeah, I think sometime last week or last week. Just last week? Guess what, ma? You have just one for yourself. A complete kitchen makeover. Yes.
It has been a rewarding time for consumers of the #1 heart-friendly cooking oil, Mamador. See you next time. Remember, cook with Mamador and your heart will thank you.
Congrats to the winners. Staff and management of the Federal Ministry of Information, Abuja, came together recently to celebrate one of their own, Oluseyi Abegunde, a director in the ministry, as she bowed out of active service after 35 years of meritorious service. America Amarachuku captured the excitement of her sent for the party.
That song ushered in the celebration of the retirement sent forth of Oluseyi Abegunde, who joined the Federal Civil Service in May 1983 as Information Officer. Having served in different capacities in the Ministry of Information, she rose to the rank of Director, National Press Center, where she assumed duty as Director, Public Communication and National Orientation, the position she held until retirement. Family members, colleagues, and well-wishers described her as a humble and easygoing person who will be missed by all who had contact with her.
Mrs. Abegunde is one of the most reliable officers we've had so far in the ministry. She's been wonderful. She's been so dedicated to her job and so committed. It's somebody you can really rely on. You can summon Mrs. Abegunde anytime, any day, and she'll be there for you.
She is a person that is down to earth when it comes to nurturing and mentoring officers.
With a high level, Mommy Fellowship relates with everybody.
She lives strictly within a means. You can never see her looking for money or doing all kinds of things where people do to cut corners. She would never do that. She would never be on the same page with anybody who cut corners. And maybe that's why you can see the large number of people that troop out to honor her today.
The agile, vigorous, and resourceful look of the celebrant, Oluseyi Abegunde, is full of appreciation for seeing this memorable day.
I thank God for the opportunity to have served my fatherland for the prescribed 35 years in service. It is a very good opportunity. Like I said, in the course of service, I've gone places.
Virtually every civil servant is looking forward to having this day in a sound mind and body.
Gesture there for a deserving ex-public servant. Let's proceed with our last break now. Join us again for the final segment.
Nigerians. Suicide bombers are not spirits. They are not ghosts. They are human beings like you and me. They live amongst us. They are your neighbors. They are your friends today, but terrorists tomorrow. So you must know your neighbor now. Security begins with you and me. Know your neighbor. Be vigilant. Be security conscious. Report suspicious persons, objects, and movements to the police and other security agencies. The security of our nation is a duty for you and me.
If you see something, say something. Nigeria, unite against terrorism. This message is brought to you by the Federal Ministry of Information and Culture.
Iwobi town in Edo State came alive as eminent Nigerians from across the country converged on the community to bid farewell to late Dr. Christopher Abebe, father of former First Lady Stella Obasanjo. Kelvin Ewonwaye has details.
His son-in-law, former President Olusegun Obasanjo, former head of interim national government, Chief Ernest Shonekon, Edo State Governor Godwin Obaseki, his Ogun State counterpart Ibinkule Amosun, politicians and captains of industries attended the funeral mass in honor of late Dr. Christopher Abebe, officiated by the Catholic Archbishop of Benin, His Grace Dr. Augustine Obiora Kubeze, assisted by several bishops and priests.
Abebe was a true soldier of Christ, not just as a knight of St. Roma, when he became the supreme knight, or as a papa knight of St. Sylvester, but in his life he adorned himself with integrity for his breastplate.
After tributes that poured in from governments and organizations, including that of President Muhammadu Buhari, were read, the remains of Dr. Christopher Abebe were interred at his residence in Iwobi, where he served as the community head until his demise at the age of 99.
Oh, the legacy of being honest, of being totally above board, of being humble.
Guests later converged on Abia Primary School ground in Iwobi to celebrate the life of Dr. Christopher Abebe, with a live band on hand to entertain them.
Nigerians of nowadays should look forward to a life like Mr. Abebe's own. He was a very good husband, devoted Catholic. He was dedicated.
It's a man that was destined to be what we are celebrating today. Any level he was, he never disappointed his God.
To Iwobi and Isan in general, he was an icon. He was a beacon of light.
The social activities soon turned into a meeting point of diverse culture, which had the guests spellbound. Late Dr. Christopher Abebe was the first indigenous chairman of United African Company, UAC. He also served as chairman of Nigeria Breweries, Vitafoam, and director of several blue-chip companies, as well as pro-chancellor and chairman of governing council of 3 federal universities. He left behind his wife, Teresa, children, and grandchildren.
Pa Abebe, so rest in perfect peace. Amen. So far, so good. This is where we call it a day, or should I say a night. You are such great company. Thanks for always staying on the line with us. Let's do this again next week. For now, I will hand over to, the next program is Alibaba, seriously, and he's not around tonight. He has sent another person who is equal to the task, Benga Adeyinka. Hello.
Hello, good evening. How are you today?
I'm doing great. So what do you have for us?
It's a loaded package. It's Alibaba seriously, but to be being Adeyinka seriously this evening.
Okay, let's do the suspense. For now, good night and God bless Nigeria.